Good evening, viewers. Tonight's special report will be on democide, or as it is better known, state-sponsored murder. Obama advisor Z. Big Brzezinski released this statement on the matter. In earlier times, it was easier to control 1 million people than to physically kill 1 million people. Today, it is infinitely easier to kill 1 million people than to control 1 million people. Z. Big Brzezinski. Democide is the murder of any person or people by a government, including genocide, politicide, and mass murder. Genocide is the killing of a people by a government because of their indelible group membership, i.e. race, ethnicity, religion, or language. Politicide is the murder of any person by the government because of their politics or for political purposes. Mass murder is the indiscriminate killing of any person or the eradication of specific cultural groups in the country the government feels the need to terminate for political reasons or for fear of future threats. Joseph Stalin, the General Secretary of the Soviet Union, once said, "A single death is a tragedy, but 1 million deaths is a statistic." Despite statistics, a lot of people believe that governments are too bureaucratic and aren't competent enough to accomplish such substantial tasks like democide. History, however, shows us a totally different story. History shows us bone-chilling examples like the bombing of Black Wall Street in Greenwood, Tulsa, Oklahoma, where white citizens massacred hundreds of black residents and burned the community to the ground within hours because of the economic threat created when the all African American self-sufficient community chose not to spend their money outside of their own neighborhood. And the people became so wealthy they were throwing off the U.S. economy. Another event would be the Wounded Knee Massacre, where the U.S. 7th Cavalry slaughtered 130 to 250 Sioux men, women, and children, saying it was an uprising, but in actuality, it was a ploy to get the rich mineral deposits in the Black Hills that the government couldn't get to because of treaties they had made and wanting revenge for the battle at Wounded Knee. Also, there was the Elaine Massacre of 1919 in Arkansas, where 237 African Americans were lynched as a result of a shootout between the Phillips County Sheriff's Office and members of the Progressive Farmers Household Union of America, who were meeting in a church because of many formal complaints filed to the state attorney's office about black sharecroppers being underpaid or not paid at all for their labor. Lynching in itself is an act of democide. It was not uncommon for lynching to be used as extrajudiciary punishment for minorities. In domestic democide, such as lynchings, the American government was probably indirectly responsible for around 2,000 kills since 1900. When it comes to foreign wars, however, the U.S. military have killed hundreds of thousands of foreigners in cold blood, virtually all civilians, mostly due to bombing. The first modern case of large-scale and extensive democide by the U.S. government was during the Philippine War, when the U.S. fought to take over the Philippines. This happened with the approval, if not the command, of officers, and the American soldiers tortured, shot, and killed their prisoners, and often others surrendering guerrilla forces. They often destroyed villages, killing many civilians, trying to rid the island areas of guerrilla infestation. The survivors were driven into concentration camps where they often died from conditions such as starvation and disease. Numerous letters from soldiers and first-hand reports during the war attest to these incidents. Democide is committed by countries all over the world. I chose to focus on domestic democide because when you bring up the topic, most people think of the Holocaust or foreign incidents or this could never happen to me. But this shows you just how fast and just how close that it could hit home. My name is Benjamin Raymond, and this has been the special report on democide. Thank you.